The massive spacecraft of the Galactic Council loomed over Earth's orbit, casting a shadow that seemed to freeze the entire planet's atmosphere. Li Jun watched from the International Space Station, his dark eyes reflecting the silver hull of the alien vessel. Around him, scientists and military personnel moved with tense, controlled movements. The alien transmission crackled through the communication systems. A creature with iridescent skin and multiple eyes blinked slowly, its voice, a deep resonance that seemed to vibrate through metal and bone. "Humans of Earth," it announced. "Your civilization has been evaluated and found lacking." Li Jun stood perfectly still. His hands were clasped behind his back, a classic pose of diplomatic composure that masked the storm of calculations brewing in his mind. Behind him, Kim Hana typed silently on her quantum computer, her fingers moving with precision that suggested she was doing much more than simply listening. The alien continued. "Your planet will provide immediate tribute. We require 500,000 workers, complete mineral extraction rights, and total technological submission. Failure to comply will result in complete planetary isolation and potential military intervention." Around the communication center, humans exchanged worried glances. Some looked terrified, others looked angry, but Li Jun remained completely calm. "We have studied your civilization," the alien representative continued. "Your technological capabilities are primitive. Your military resources are minimal. Your scientific understanding is basic. You have no choice but to comply." Li Jun stepped forward. His voice was clear and controlled. "And if we refuse?" The alien's multiple eyes seemed to focus directly on him. "Refusal means destruction, complete and total elimination of your species from galactic records." The threat hung in the air like a heavy mist. Humans had always believed they were alone in the universe. Now they discovered not only were they not alone, but they were also considered insignificant. Kim Hana's fingers continued to move across her computer. To an untrained eye, she appeared to be listening, but she was doing something else entirely. Small lines of code were being inserted into the communication network, creating invisible pathways that would become critical in the coming conflict. Park Wung, the military strategist, stood in the corner. His eyes were calculating, watching every movement of the alien representative. Years of military training had taught him to read body language, to understand threats, to prepare for confrontation. The alien's transmission continued, listing demands and potential consequences. They spoke of their technological superiority, their centuries of space exploration, their complex network of civilizations that had existed long before humans had even discovered fire. Li Jun listened, and while he listened, he was planning. "You have 72 hours to prepare your initial tribute," the alien concluded. The transmission cut off, leaving a strange electric silence in the room. No one moved for several seconds. Then Li Jun turned to his team. "Begin preparation," he said simply. Kim Hana nodded, her fingers already dancing across her keyboard. Park Wung pulled up detailed holographic maps of potential defensive and offensive strategies. Outside the space station, Earth continued to spin. Billions of people had no idea of the conversation that had just occurred. They would go about their daily lives, working, studying, living, completely unaware that their entire civilization had just been challenged by a force beyond their imagination. Li Jun knew that everything would change in the next 72 hours. The aliens believed humans would submit. They believed humans were weak, primitive, incapable of resistance. They were about to learn how wrong they were. As the team began their preparations, a small smile crossed Li Jun's face. The aliens thought this was an ultimatum. In reality, it was an opportunity, and humans were very good at taking opportunities. The research facility looked like any other government building from the outside. Gray concrete walls, minimal windows, and strict security checkpoints. But inside, something extraordinary was happening. Kim Hana stood in front of a massive wall of computer screens. Each display showed complex mathematical equations, network diagrams, and strange algorithmic patterns that seemed to dance and shift. Her team worked silently, their fingers moving quickly across keyboards. "We need a complete system infiltration strategy," she muttered, more to herself than to anyone else. The alien communication network was complex, but not impossible to break. Humans had always been good at finding weaknesses. In another part of the facility, Park Wong reviewed military strategies. Holographic maps showed potential conflict zones, alien vessel movements, and Earth's defensive capabilities. He knew they were severely outgunned, but technology wasn't just about raw power. It was about intelligence and adaptation. Military scientists worked on specialized equipment, small devices that could disrupt alien communication systems, quantum-encoded viruses that could slip through the most advanced firewalls, adaptive technologies that could learn and change faster than any alien computer system. Li Jun moved between different research teams, observing, asking questions, providing subtle guidance. He understood that their strength wasn't in direct confrontation, but in unexpected strategy. "We are not trying to win a traditional war," he told a group of quantum engineers. "We are trying to prove a point, that humans are not to be underestimated." Global communication networks began to change. Specialized teams in different countries started working on secret projects. In Tokyo, a group of software engineers developed adaptive encryption codes. In São Paulo, researchers created quantum communication disruption technologies. In Lagos, scientists worked on specialized energy transmission methods. No single team knew the entire plan, but each understood their piece of the puzzle. Kim Hana's primary project was a quantum computer system that could predict and counter alien communication networks. It wasn't just about blocking signals. It was about understanding them, predicting them, and then using that knowledge as a weapon. "Every communication has a pattern," she explained to her team, "even if that pattern is complex. Our job is to find those patterns and exploit them." Park Wong focused on defensive strategies. How could they protect Earth if the aliens decided to attack? Traditional military weapons would be useless against advanced space technology. They needed something different. Special teams developed electromagnetic pulse generators that could potentially disable alien spacecraft. Other groups worked on advanced stealth technologies that could hide entire planetary communication systems. The clock was ticking. 72 hours might seem like a long time, but for these researchers it was incredibly short. Li Jun understood the psychological component of their preparation. The aliens expected submission. They expected fear. Instead, they would find preparation, intelligence, and an unexpected level of resistance. In secret laboratories, scientists worked on technologies that seemed like science fiction. Adaptive AI systems that could learn and change faster than any known computer. Communication. Disruption technologies that could create complete communication blackouts. Every team knew their work was critical. Every researcher understood that they weren't just working on a technical challenge. They were working to protect their entire civilization. As the hours passed, something began to change in the facility. The initial fear that had gripped everyone after the alien transmission started to transform. Now there was excitement, determination, a sense that they were doing something unprecedented. Kim Hana looked up from her screens, a rare smile crossing her face. "We're ready," she said quietly. Park Wong nodded. Their preparation wasn't about creating the most powerful weapon. It was about creating the most intelligent response. Li Jun walked through the facility, watching his team's work. He knew the aliens would never expect what was coming. They saw humans as primitive. They would soon learn their mistake. The preparation was almost complete, and Earth was ready. The massive space station of the Galactic Council gleamed like a silver wheel. Against the darkness of space, Li Jun's delegation arrived precisely on schedule, looking calm and professional in their crisp white uniforms. Alien representatives watched carefully as the humans walked through the long corridor. Their movements were controlled, almost too perfect. Each step calculated, each gesture measured. The main conference chamber was massive, with curved walls that seemed to pulse with strange energy. Alien delegates from different species sat in raised platforms, looking down at the human delegation with a mixture of curiosity and contempt. Humans will present their initial tribute documentation, announced the primary council representative, a creature with translucent skin and multiple eye stalks. Lee Jun stepped forward. His tablet looked ordinary, but Kim Hana had spent weeks designing its internal systems. What appeared to be a simple presentation device was actually a complex infiltration tool. "We have prepared our initial response," Lee Jun said smoothly. His voice was calm, almost pleasant. As he began speaking, tiny quantum algorithms started spreading through the alien communication networks. Each word he spoke was simultaneously a diplomatic statement and a technological weapon. Kim Hana watched from a remote monitoring station, her fingers moving silently across her quantum computer. She was tracking every digital movement, every potential pathway of infiltration. The alien representatives seemed bored. They had seen hundreds of species submit to their demands. Humans would be no different. Lee Jun's presentation looked like a standard tribute document, spreadsheets of resources, worker allocations, technological surrender agreements. But hidden within the digital layers were complex infiltration codes. Park Woong monitored the entire operation from Earth. He watched as each line of code was strategically placed, each digital pathway carefully constructed. The aliens didn't notice anything unusual. They saw exactly what they expected to see, a primitive species preparing to submit. One alien representative leaned forward. "Your documentation seems complete," it said, its multiple eyes blinking in sequence. "You understand the consequences of incomplete submission?" Lee Jun nodded. "We understand completely," he said. What the aliens didn't realize was that every digital document was a Trojan horse. Every spreadsheet was a potential pathway for technological invasion. Kim Hana's quantum algorithms began their silent work. They didn't attack directly. Instead, they studied. They learned. They prepared. The meeting continued. Alien representatives discussed resource extraction, worker deportation, and technological transfer. They spoke as if humans were already defeated. Lee Jun listened. And while he listened, the infiltration continued. Small quantum packets of information began spreading through alien communication networks. They looked like standard data transfers, but they were much more. Park Woong watched the initial stages of their plan unfold. Everything was proceeding exactly as they had calculated. The alien representatives seemed satisfied. They believed humans would be another easily conquered species. Another civilization to be added to their vast galactic record. They were wrong. As the meeting concluded, Lee Jun shook hands with the primary council representative. The touch was brief, but in that moment, another layer of technological infiltration was completed. "We will begin immediate preparation of our tribute," Lee Jun said. The aliens nodded, completely unaware of the technological storm that was about to be unleashed. Lee Jun's team left the space station exactly as they had arrived, calm, professional, seemingly defeated. But they were anything but defeated. Kim Hana's quantum algorithms were now deeply embedded in the alien communication systems. They would study, learn, and prepare for the next phase. The initial confrontation was complete, and humans had just planted the seeds of their resistance. 12 hours after the initial meeting, everything changed. Choi Yun's specialized virus began its silent invasion. It didn't attack like traditional computer viruses. Instead, it moved slowly, carefully, learning and adapting with each system it touched. In the first hour, alien communication networks started experiencing strange disruptions. Small glitches appeared, a delayed transmission here, a scrambled signal there. Nothing major, just enough to make technicians uncomfortable. Kim Hana watched her screens, tracking every digital movement. Her quantum computer processed information faster than any known system in the galaxy. Each alien communication pathway became a map, each digital signal a potential weapon. Park Woong coordinated from Earth's primary defense center. His team had prepared for months, creating technologies that could exploit even the smallest technological weakness. The aliens didn't realize they were under attack. Their systems were so complex, so advanced, that they couldn't imagine a primitive species like humans could penetrate their defenses. They were wrong. Quantum algorithms created by Kim Hana began dismantling alien technological infrastructures with surgical precision. It wasn't about destroying everything. It was about strategic disruption. Communication satellites started malfunctioning. Navigation systems became unreliable. Military coordination networks began experiencing unexplained interruptions. One by one, alien technological systems started to fail. Not completely, just enough to create confusion, just enough to make them question everything. Lee Jun watched the operation from a secure monitoring station. His face remained calm, but his eyes showed a hint of satisfaction. The first major breakdown happened in the Galactic Council's primary communication hub. Suddenly, entire communication networks went dark. Backup systems failed. Emergency protocols became confused. Alien technicians ran around their control centers trying to understand what was happening. Their most advanced diagnostic tools showed nothing. No external attack, no visible virus, just complete system failure. Park Woong's team had designed the attack to be invisible. Each technological disruption looked like an internal malfunction. Nothing pointed back to humans. Kim Hana's quantum algorithms continued their work. They didn't just disrupt, they learned. Each alien system they touched became a source of new information, new potential attack vectors. Military communication networks were the next to experience problems. Coordination between different alien species became impossible. Navigation systems started providing incorrect coordinates. Weapon targeting became unreliable. The Galactic Council's technological superiority was being systematically dismantled. Not through brute force, but through intelligent, adaptive infiltration. Choi Yun monitored the global response. Her team had created technologies that could adapt faster than any known alien system. Each disruption was carefully calculated, each system failure precisely engineered. Lee Jun understood the psychological component of their attack. It wasn't just about technological disruption. It was about creating doubt, about showing the aliens that humans were not to be underestimated. Within 24 hours, the Galactic Council's entire technological infrastructure was compromised. Not destroyed, just fundamentally unreliable. Alien leaders began to panic. Their communication systems were failing. Their military coordination was breaking down. Their most advanced technologies were becoming unpredictable. And humans? Humans looked completely innocent. Park Woong allowed himself a small smile. They had done more than defend themselves. They had shown the galaxy that technological superiority was not about raw power, but about intelligence and adaptability. Kim Hana's quantum computer continued its silent work. Each alien system became a new learning opportunity. Each communication network a potential pathway for future exploration. The strategic counterattack was complete, and the Galactic Council would never be the same. Humans had just demonstrated that they were not a species to be conquered. They were a species to be respected. The aliens had made a mistake, and they were about to learn exactly how costly that mistake would be. 48 hours after the initial infiltration, the Galactic Council's entire system collapsed. The primary communication hub went completely dark. Massive space stations lost all power. Entire fleets of alien spacecraft became nothing more than floating metal containers in the vast darkness of space. Lee Jun watched the final stages of their plan unfold from Earth's primary monitoring station. His team had done more than just defend themselves. They had completely dismantled the most advanced technological civilization in the known universe. Kim Hana's quantum algorithms had worked perfectly. They didn't just disrupt, they systematically destroyed every single technological infrastructure the aliens depended on. Communication networks, navigation systems, military coordination, all gone. Park Woong monitored the global response. Military leaders from around the world watched in stunned silence as the alien threat simply disappeared. The Galactic Council's primary representative The same creature that had demanded Earth's submission just days earlier, now sat in complete darkness. Its multiple eye stalks moved uselessly, unable to communicate, unable to understand what had happened. Choi Yoon's final virus was a masterpiece of technological warfare. It didn't just break systems, it made them completely unrecoverable. Every backup, every redundant system, every potential recovery method had been anticipated and neutralized. Alien civilizations across multiple star systems suddenly found themselves cut off. No communication, no navigation, no technology. Lee Jun stepped forward and activated the final transmission. His message was simple and clear. You came to conquer. Instead, you taught us how to defend ourselves. The transmission went out across every remaining communication channel. A clear, precise statement of human capability. Park Woong understood the psychological impact of their attack. It wasn't just about technological disruption, it was about sending a message. Humans were not a species to be taken lightly. Kim Hana's quantum computer continued processing, tracking the total breakdown of alien technological systems. Each moment revealed another layer of their complete victory. The Galactic Council's massive space stations became nothing more than giant, silent tombs. Millions of alien beings suddenly found themselves isolated, confused, their entire civilization ground to a complete halt. No military response was possible. No communication could be established. The humans had struck with such precision that the aliens couldn't even understand how they had been defeated. Lee Jun's final report was brutally simple. Threat neutralized. Planetary defense successful. Around the world, humans began to realize what had happened. They had not just survived an alien threat, they had completely destroyed it. Park Woong knew this was more than a military victory. This was a statement to the entire universe. Humans might look primitive, they might seem technologically simple, but they were adaptable. They were intelligent. They were dangerous. Kim Hana's team continued monitoring. Each alien system that tried to reboot was immediately shut down. Each attempted communication was blocked. The humans had complete technological control. The Galactic Council's demand for tribute had transformed into their own complete destruction. Lee Jun understood the historical significance of what they had accomplished. This wasn't just a defense. This was a warning to any civilization that might consider threatening Earth in the future. As the final systems went dark, a strange silence fell across space. The aliens had come to conquer. They left with nothing. Humans had defended their planet. And they had done so with such complete precision that no one would ever challenge them again. The devastating conclusion was clear. Earth was not a planet to be conquered. Earth was a planet to be respected, and the universe would never forget. This lesson